everyone, my name is Amber. Welcome back to my channel, Amber Reads Romance. Today I'm just doing my quick intro for a vlog I wanted to do. I want to try and read some more romances. I've only read like a couple and they're usually like quick little reads, and I really wanted to dive into some more romances that I've heard about, and so I wanted to do a vlog. I'm hoping to read maybe 2 or 3. Depending on how long I ramble. I don't want to make these videos too long. Sometimes I talk too much and I don't want to be this long ass video for you guys. But so I wanted to start out with one of the most like hyped books that I've ever heard of. That's Everybody loves this book. I have not read it. I finally bought it so I could have a physical copy and read it. And so I'm going to start out the vlog with him by Sarina, Bowen, and Elle Kennedy. This is a really beloved romance, hockey romance, and I'm really excited to dive in, and I hope it really lives up to the hype. I honestly had to go searching around for this cover because I don't like it when they do like the cartoon cutesy covers, and that's like the newer cover. I want the hot guy on the front, so I looked around for this one. So I am really excited to dive into this. I also want to try a monster romance. Jen at the Book Refuge always recommends this book. It's called, I think, Soul Eater. And it is the beginning of a series by Mayne. And it's like a monster romance. It's So I really want to read that. And then also the Unhinged, where it's the series about where they're serial killers and that guy takes them in and raises them to like kill bad people. And that sounds like my kind of jam. And then it's also male. So I'm going to dive in. I'm not sure if I'm going to do all 3 for this vlog or not, but we'll see how this goes. I'm going to dive in first with him. Super excited. I'll be giving you guys updates as I go, obviously. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you with my first update on him in a bit. Hey guys, so just checking in. I am about 35% into him, and I'm absolutely loving it. Loving this cover, by the way. I mean, I wish I had a guy that had abs like that. Anyways, I'm absolutely loving this. It's so easy to read. I'm like already super into it. I've had a busy day, so I haven't had a lot of time to read. But right now I'm just reading it. I'm just turning pages. It's like really like you don't want to put it down. So I think it's a definite catching book. Like it's easy to read and interesting, and you really feel their connection. So this book is with Jamie Canning and Ryan Wesley, and they were best friends. Even though they lived in different states, they would go to this same like hockey camp for elites for like 6 weeks in the summer, and they were like through junior high and high school, and so they were really, really close best friends. They would like have a blast out there together. Wes was always, his name is Ryan Wesley, but they call him Wes. He would always kind of be the wild one doing all the crazy stuff. My cats are deciding to fight while I'm filming. It happens every time. Okay. So anyways, Wes is, he is actually gay, and he didn't really fully know at the time, like junior high, going through high school, if he was or not, but he did know he was attracted to Jamie. Like he was very attracted to him, and he tried to like kind of hook up with girls. And he kind of learned the first time trying to have sex with a girl, like he did it, but he didn't enjoy it. And he could only really do it thinking of Jamie. So him and Jamie had this great connection. They would like, even though they lived in separate states, they would text throughout the year, and they would send like these boxes with like little gag gifts to each other. And it was just really, really sweet. But an event happens while they're at like the camp, like their senior year of high school, and they kind of always bet each other, did competitions, and basically they bet whoever wins gets a blowjob. And so Jamie was like kind of freaking out because he knew there was a big chance that he would lose, but he couldn't like not do it. And with our competition, so they did it. And Jamie actually won. And so he like, you know, Wes was like, I'm not really going to make him do that. But then they end up drinking later and they start to watch porn together and things kind of escalate. And Wes like kind of like, oh, you know, dare me to do it. Like, I'll give you relief right now, because they're like kind of jerking off in front of each other. It's super hot scene. And Wes gives him a blowjob and Jamie is into it and he likes it. But Wes feels so guilty, like he pushed him into that and that he's a straight guy and he's going to freak out. And so he kind of like cuts off all communication with him, ends their friendship, and ignores his texts. And so they see each other at this, you know, Final Four kind of game. They didn't go against each other, but it was like Final Four. And so, you know, Wes has felt really guilty and feels bad about how he treated him after. And so he sent him that box as like a thank you. Or not a thank you, but kind of like a sorry, you want to be friends. And then they kind of talk and everything. And, you know, Jamie's really hurt that he abandoned him and ended their friendship, but he's willing to kind of let things go. What ends up happening is Wes wins the championship, but he's not even happy about it. All he's thinking about is Jamie. And so he has denied like helping coach at that camp for like the last 3 years. And he knows that Jamie's going to be there. So he calls him up and offers to do it for the first time. And so he shows up to the camp and they're both coaching these younger kids together, these teenagers, and then they're roommates. And so I just read a scene where like they went out together, were drinking, and like Wes was on like the Grindr or kind of like that kind of app. And there was a guy that was like matched with him there, like at the bar. And so they start flirting and talking, and Jamie's like getting really jealous, but not understanding why he's jealous. And they kind of like get into it outside and end up making out. And it's just super hot. Sorry, my cat. This book is so sexy. Like their chemistry is off the charts. And I love that Jamie, like, once he found out why the friendship ended, like he was like, I don't get it. Is that what you think of me? That I'm so like, you know, narrow-minded, that I wouldn't accept you or whatever. He's like, you know, you didn't like force me into do anything. Like I had an amazing time. And he's like admitted like that in his head, at least, that was the best blowjob he's ever had in his life. And he's confused because he's super attracted to him. And Wes has like this tongue ring. And at one point he was like, after they were like making out, which was super hot, he's like, I want to feel that tongue ring on my you know. And it's just hot. Like I love these guys. I'm really excited like to read this. This is a big hit for the first part of this vlog is him. Like I'm loving it, and I'm already thinking I'm gonna have to buy Us immediately because there's a second part to this and I want to read it. All right, so anyways, it's getting late. I probably should stop reading and go to bed. I will check in with you guys probably tomorrow. I'm gonna take this baby to work with me. I don't care what people say about the hottie on the cover. I'm taking it to work. All right, I will check in with you tomorrow. Hey guys, I just wanted to check in. I am about 60% through him and I'm absolutely loving it. I do apologize for the lighting and the mess that I look right now. But I did not want to set up my camera and everything, so it might be a little wobbly. I apologize. But I am loving this book. Like I'm getting the hype. I love the dynamic between Jamie and Wes. Jamie has considered himself straight his whole life. He did have that one, you know, altercation, the sexual experience with Wes when they were seniors in high school. But he's never really been attracted to a guy since then. And then now they have their additional encounters now that are going on at this camp. And he's kind of having a self-exploration of like, am I gay or do I like men and women? What does this mean? He kind of wonders, am I just into Wes or do I like all men? I love there's a scene where he watches a porn and like the name of the porn, the dialogue during the porn, he was just like, it made me laugh so hard. It was such a funny scene, but he ends up getting pretty turned on. And so he realizes it's not just Wes, that he's into guys and he is into girls. But he does feel like a deeper connection to Wes. They have such a solid, beautiful friendship. But it's hard to see because Wes has been like in love with him for years. So he doesn't want this to just be like an experiment or this or that for him. So I'm definitely loving this. Their connection is beautiful. They finally had like full on sex in this last scene that I read. And then they did kind of have like a fight kind of thing because they're at this camp and Jamie's old like fuck buddy comes and he basically lets her know straight up like, I'm into somebody else. This isn't going to happen. Of course, he doesn't tell her it's a guy, but him and Wes kind of have it out and they kind of come up with these rules that like at the end of the 6 weeks, it's over for them. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. But they did agree that they want to be exclusive. So I loved that. I'm loving the sex scenes are super hot. The dialogue's great. They have a great connection. So far, I'm absolutely loving this book. So I definitely do get the hype. So I'm going to head to bed and then read a little bit more tomorrow. Been busy today with my son and stuff and after work. So, anyways, I'm tired and rambling. All right. Anyways, the thing is, I love this book and I will check in with you once I finish it probably. All right. See you on the next clip. Hey guys, I just wanted to do my last check-in on him. I really loved this book. I think I'm going to give it 5 stars. I was a little bit like, wanted a little bit more of their life after the camp. Most of this is like taking place during the summer camp. And then the end is kind of going into their real lives. You have kind of like the third act conflict kind of thing of them splitting up because obviously they were both supposed to go to different cities, to play in the NHL. And Jamie didn't really know if he wanted to play in the NHL to not be like, the first string or, he'll probably be on the bench most of the time. And so he was more into like the coaching aspect. So it was kind of up in the air. And then, Wes didn't want anybody to know he was gay, at the beginning of his contract, starting out on a new team. And so he kind of, that led to the conflict too. But I would have liked to see more of them, like actually like being in a real relationship in real life, in town. We did get a happily ever, their HEA in this, but it was kind of missing that like real life kind of aspect. But I guess that's probably why there's a second book. So I'm definitely going to get Us, which is the second book. I'm assuming that's going to take place, after he is already playing for the team for a while. Cause, Jamie's going to be like living with him. But I think they're trying to keep it on the DL because they don't want people to make a big deal out of like the media out of him being gay and stuff. So, otherwise, like, honestly, like the sex was super hot. I loved the characters. You could feel their connection. I really loved this book. So a good start to this vlog. I'm really enjoying my romances, so I can't wait to read some more. I have to do I want to do the novella readathon, so I'm going to take a little break, but I will be checking in with you once I start my next book. I think I'm going to do Unhinged. I think that's what it's called, which is a serial killer one. So we'll see. So thank you guys. I'll see you on the next clip, and hopefully I'll have a great time with that book as well. Hey guys, I just want to do my next check-in. I did start my next book for this Mail vlog, and I did start Unhinged, which is the first book in a series by Onley James. I heard a lot about this on BookTube and everything, but I've never read one of their books, and I haven't read the series, and it really fascinated me because it is about psychopaths that are pretty much like serial killers. And I thought that was an interesting take. It does remind me a lot of Dexter, where, I loved that show. And it was, where he was raised by his dad to like use his psychopath tendencies to be in serial killer like wants and needs and desires to kill bad guys, to kill people that weren't going to be caught in the system, that might get away with their crimes. So that's kind of what this reminds me of, because this man ends up adopting multiple kids that have psychopath tendencies at a young age, and that could have like led them down an even worse path, or they would have become kind of like monsters or done bad things. And he adopts them and basically trains them, and they become killers, but they kill people that have committed crimes and bad guys and all that. So this is pretty interesting. I'm really liking it. I like it because I love reading about like psychopaths and thinking about how their mind works. It's really fascinating to me. And so you have Adam. He was abused at a really young age. He was found by attached to a radiator where he had like scars on his leg. He was very cut off, didn't show emotions. And this was like at 6. So like he was already like a psychopath right here, got diagnosed by multiple doctors. And so this guy adopts him and thinks he's perfect for this. And so you kind of jump ahead to him being an adult and this other man holding him at gunpoint. And Adam's very calm about it. He's not worried. But it ends up being the son of one of the men he killed. So Noah was like 10 years old when he found his dad after Adam killed him. Adam killed him because he was a pedophile and a rapist, and he ends up killing him. And so Noah's kind of looking for revenge, and Adam lets him know like why he killed him. He ends up calling this kind of hacker chick that works for them to send him the video and to show him proof of like what his dad was. He does try to stop him from watching it because he's like, you won't be able to get past this. It will bother you. But Noah wants to see it. And seeing this video triggers memories for him a little bit after this incident of this run-in with Adam. And he starts to remember being abused by his father, but also by multiple men. So he's, pretty upset, disturbed. He ends up getting followed around by Adam because Adam is like instantly drawn to him. He doesn't really know why. He's kind of fascinated with it because, again, it's the way a psychopath mind works. He doesn't love. He mimics emotions. He's very charismatic and gives this fake person to the world. But he's drawn to Noah, and he ends up like kind of following him. And they make out and everything, and it was pretty hot. And then he ends up just showing up at Adam's like trailer, like in the middle of the night. He just kind of broke in and told him, well, I wanted to be with you, so that's why I'm here. And he just doesn't think like a normal person. And so Noah's kind of like thrown off by this, and Adam was like a model, so he's like this drop dead gorgeous guy, kind of living off of like a trust fund too. And his brothers are also killers. So it's interesting. I'm excited to see more of the characters because I do know this is a series with the brothers. So I'm interested. He ends up finding out that Noah is looking into his past because he remembered other men were involved in his assaults. And so he wants to find them and investigate and figure things out, but he also doesn't want to relive these memories, so he kind of like takes drugs off and on sometimes to like escape that. But Adam basically is like totally into him and wants to be with him, and he spends the night there, and they kind of go out to breakfast, and they're all like lovey-dovey, and it's really, really cute. That's what's crazy about this, is he's like a psychopath and a killer, and he doesn't love anyone. but he's very attached to Noah instantly. So it's a lot of insta lust here. And he ends up taking him back to his place. And they do kind of mess around. He finds Noah's like really into being dominated in the bedroom and like rougher sex. So Adam definitely gives him that. And I'm just really liking it. It's super sweet, which is kind of what like weird for a psychopath romance, but I'm liking the characters. I'm enjoying getting lots of quotes because it's really interesting. I always love the way a psychopath's mind works in these like romance settings. It's kind of interesting. So I'm really enjoying it. I think it's going to be an interesting series. So I'm going to try and I'm like at 30% now. I'm going to try and get to 50% before bed. It's a little late right now. That's why I'm not looking the best, but I wanted to get my check-in so I don't forget everything that I wanted to say. But I'm gonna try and get 50%, and then I will follow up with you tomorrow. Gonna have a long week at work this week, so not looking forward to going to work tomorrow, but I will follow up with you hopefully after the 50% or so and let you know what I'm thinking. Hey guys, just finished work, got home, and I thought I would just do a quick update here. I am about 60% through Unhinged, and I'm enjoying it. It's a little insta-lust, instant together, so there's not a lot of angst or any of that kind of stuff going on. It's kind of cute. It's more around him being a psychopath and him kind of not being able to know love, like he doesn't love people, show empathy or any of those things. And Noah like obviously wants love in his life. And then also them looking into what happened to Noah as a kid, really disturbing dark stuff. They found this cabin and like there was a room, like this is where his dad and his like dad's friend used to take him when he was younger. And there's this like kid's room in there, and it's got like a car bed, but it's got like restraints on it and like cameras set up, and so it's just disgusting. So I think we're going to be really amped and wanting Adam to kill these guys that did this to Noah and to other kids. So so far I'm enjoying it. It's not like this amazing book, but it's still holding my attention. I do find it interesting. So we'll see how it goes from here. I am interested, in this series. I think it could be really good. It's just not like the most amazing romance I've ever read or anything, because honestly, Adam can't love. But he is very obsessed with Noah and lets him know, like, you're mine. Like, I want to tie you up to my bed. I don't want you to leave me. Like, he's already gone against his family and told them, like, he'll choose Noah over them. So he is very, like, dominant alpha and, like, very obsessed with Noah. So we'll see if he finds kind of love feelings. I don't know if it's possible with a psychopath. But so far, I'm enjoying it. It feels kind of like a 4-star read, honestly. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So hopefully I'll finish that tonight, and I will give you an update soon. Hey guys, I just wanted to do my final check-in on Unhinged. I don't really know how I want to rate this book. I did find it enjoyable, but I was kind of bored and almost skimming through a lot of it. And I think it's due to the fact that they are instantly together. Like at the beginning of the book, they're instantly together. There's really no drama. There's no angst. They're together. I guess it's insta love, even though Adam doesn't feel love, but it's his type of love for Noah. I just honestly, it didn't really hit the mark for me. I thought it was really cute and sweet for a psychopath romance. In the beginning, it was kind of holding my attention because I like the psychopath tendencies and being in the mind of a psychopath. I find that really fascinating. So that part was interesting. But it kind of dragged on, and it's not that long of a book, but it just really felt long to me because, they were instantly together, and then they were just nonstop having sex. Sorry, my cat's meowing coming up right now, so you may hear my cat meowing right now. Okay, anyways, so this book was okay. I think I might give it 3.5, maybe round up to 4 stars on Goodreads, but I think it's more of like a 3.5 for me. I'm hoping the rest of the series gets better, but honestly, I just didn't hold a candle to freaking reading him, which him was like amazing, had angst, had growth, had buildup of their relationship. I really wanted them to be together, and like I loved both the characters and I loved their friendship. So this one was just kind of two-dimensional compared to that. I did love a lot of Adam's quotes and how crazy possessive he was, and kind of just wanted to almost own Noah and he was his and all of that. So I did like that. I thought it was cute. Honestly, it dealt with some heavy subject matter, but it was actually really cute between them. There was really no romance like plot or things holding back the romance or angst. It was like they were together instantly and then that was it. So I don't know, it was kind of felt like the romance wasn't as important, although it was important because it was driving them together and Adam helping Noah, and the ending was interesting of them trying to get this sex trafficking ring and all that stuff that was responsible for what happened to Noah. So it was decent. I just didn't think it was that great. So I think 3.5 stars is pretty fair. But that's going to be it for this book. I am probably going to take a break. And I should be reading another one, I think, for the vlog. But I have some other books I have to read first. So I think I'm going to read Soul Eater next because I wanted to do a monster. I wanted to do a monster, a male romance. So, and I've had that on my TBR for a while. So I will check back in with you once I start reading that book. Thanks for watching again, because I do tend to ramble on these. So I'll see you on the next clip. Hey everyone, I am in bed late at night, but I wanted to give you guys an update because I did start reading Soul Eater and I'm really enjoying it. I'm about 30% in. I do apologize, the lighting's really bad. I'm in bed, but my son's out in the living room playing video games, so I don't really have anywhere else to film right now. But anyways, I am about 30% in, and there isn't a lot of any romance going on in this, but it does have a lot of world building, and I really like that. I found it to be really interesting in this fascinating, like, post-apocalyptic world that Mayne's created. So basically, there's kind of like, it's post-apocalyptic because like years ago, monsters started like appearing or rising or whatever you want to say, and so humanity basically dealt with it however humans do, which is like war and trying to control it, and it didn't pan out for them. So you have like a lot of basically like wastelands, like humans aren't like in cities anymore. There's some military, or like the wastelands is another option, or being like a ravager. There's different things. So our hero basically signed with the military because he had nowhere else to go after his mom died. She helped take care of him, and he didn't want to be like in the wastelands or be alone. So he joined the military, even though he's really not the military type. And he ends up in the beginning of this being sent out on this mission with a bunch of the other like grunts. And they're basically like kind of like distraction, or, they're used to distract this big monster that's coming, basically sent to their death so that another different, military group could come in and try and capture this monster. So he knows he's basically like going to his death, and there's really nothing he can do about it. So him and all these other soldiers are waiting for the Soul Eater to appear, and that's our monster. And he basically does this wild hunt every few years where he travels throughout the United States, and he basically kills random. So they don't understand why he kills certain people and leaves other people alive. And so they want to capture him and probably use him to their own benefit. It's military. So he ends up finding all these soldiers, and he's murdering all of them, killing them all. And then he comes across our hero, and he doesn't even like try to kill him. He's scared. He doesn't really want to. And so when the Soul Eater comes up to him and kind of the guy freaks out and all of a sudden he blacks out, he wakes up back at the military base and they had end up capturing Wynn. Wynn only wants to talk to the guy that survived, the one he was about, right near. And so they end up having this guy go down there and try to get information or intel out of this monster. And the monster and him start this back and forth of like, answering one question each, a quid pro quo kind of situation. And ends up happening is one time the monster's freaking out, wants him like in the middle of the night, and he goes down there. Once he's locked in the room with the monster gets the lights all shut out and he turns almost into like this smoke. The monster's really interesting because he has like this hood and it's like black all in the face area, so he can't even see if he has like a face or anything. And he's got like these horns that come out from underneath the mask, not the mask, but the cowl. And he's like just a big guy with like kind of like pale hands with like almost frostbitten looking like fingertips, and like those would turn to like he could like turn to smoke. So it's kind of interesting to see, like, to learn what kind of powers the Soul Eater has. But he basically ends up escaping, and he had brought that guy down there so that he could take him with him. And he wakes up in like a hotel room, and the Soul Eater basically tells him, you can either stay and go back with the military, or they'll probably arrest you thinking you helped me, or you can go out into the wastelands, or you can come with me. And so our hero is pretty scared of being out in the wastelands, being alone. He doesn't want to go back to the military. So he goes with Wynn, the Soul Eater. And so the Soul Eater's duty is to go around and like kill certain people. And we're trying to figure out like why. He's trying to question the Soul Eater on this trip. But he gives them really vague answers. Eventually they do get to like almost this house, because they're traveling west throughout the United States. And the Soul Eater senses something in there. So he goes in, he kind of bypasses a guy that tried to kill him to stop him from coming in. And like another woman upstairs, he only grabs this one guy and he throws him down the stairs. And our hero ends up seeing like there's something wrong with his face when he was like around Wynn. Like it didn't look human, but it kind of looked like it was supposed to be human. And so the Soul Eater basically kind of sucks out all this darkness out of the guy. And we find out that his duty basically is because there's these parasites that have come across, and they are, living off of humans, and they can lay eggs and spread around. And so he's actually protecting humanity by doing this, but nobody really knows that, and he doesn't care what people think of him. So this kind of warms up our hero to him a little bit more. And so right now they're kind of on this journey. I think it's been like a few weeks of him going after certain people that are basically parasites. And that's it so far. So there hasn't really been any romance, but I think it's completely understandable. I'm only 30% in, and it's a lot of world building, and I really like it. I've never read Lily Mayne before, so I'm really enjoying this post-apocalyptic world. And so I'm excited to learn more about like the Soul Eater and like what his powers are. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm probably going to go to bed now because I was falling asleep while I was reading. And then I will give you guys an update tomorrow, hopefully with better lighting and not me in bed. So sorry about that. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Hey everyone, so I just wanted to check in. I am still reading The Soul Eater. I'm absolutely loving this book. Last time I did a check-in, it was about like 30% in. There wasn't really any romance going on, but there definitely is a lot of romance happening now. It really kicked off a lot where basically, I believe his name is Danny. Our hero's name is Danny. I finally have his name this time. But Danny is finding himself attracted to Wynn. He's never really been attracted to anybody or had sex, so he's a virgin hero. And he's definitely attracted to Wynn, even though he hasn't seen his face. He always wears like that shroud and it's like dark. But he really likes him. They have like amazing conversations. Wynn looks out for him, and they're on like this long road trip, basically trying to find all these parasites and killing them. And so they're like, Wynn is he's not like the most talkative guy, but he does answer all his questions and they're getting to know each other. So they're building a connection. And basically, Danny's like getting turned on by him, and it was really adorable. He just full on like throws it out there, like, I want you. I'm attracted to you. And then Wynn was like, oh, you want me? Like, you want my body? You want my cock? And he was like, well, no, that's not, I do, but I want you because I like you. And they instantly basically start to hook up, and he discovers what kind of situation is going down on the Soul Eater. He keeps his face covered, but basically they kind of do a blowjob, mess around situation, and Danny is definitely into it. Afterwards, he's kind of confused because Wynn acts like nothing really happened, but I think like Wynn might have not known if he was for sure into it or felt weird about it. So he ends up just being honest and saying like, did you regret it? Because I really had a great time. And Wynn instantly goes after him, so they hook up. It's just really sweet. Like, this is such a sweet male romance. Like, I'm loving this romance. And Wynn is just so sweet. He's the Soul Eater. He's like this badass monster with powers, but he's all about protecting Danny. And they actually run into another monster, which is one of Wynn's friends. He's like this big lavender, like purple, huge, like beast with like a tail and big horns and stuff. But he's got like this bubbly, sunshine, fun, jovial personality. So it's kind of like a little bit different than how Wynn is. And so he kind of goes with them on an adventure, like to continue their journey for a little bit. And they come upon a nest. So it's one of the parasite's nests, and Wynn does not want Danny to go with him. He wants to protect him. His friend was kind of like, well, why shouldn't he come? He needs to be able to handle this. But he basically says, okay, just stay at the doorway, have your gun ready. And Danny gets worried because he hears his friend Eden like shout out Wynn's name. And so he kind of goes in there, and there's like a queen that's like laying these eggs, and he was going to like shoot the queen to help Wynn, but then one of the parasites like jumped on him and like bit him, and Wynn like fought off the queen, like kills her, but freaks out when he sees Danny get bit and like turns into his like kind of like foggy mist thing and comes over and kills the thing. And he has to end up sucking this venom out of Danny that the parasite bit him with. So Danny's pretty out of it. He's delirious, and he's like, I'll show you, if you show me your face, we can fuck and all this stuff. And it was just really funny. So they have to go place for a few days for him to recover and sleep, because the parasite's venom could have killed him if Wynn wouldn't have sucked it out. And so they end up having, after he heals for a couple days, actually do have sex, like full-on sex, which is interesting how he has sex with Wynn, since he's a monster and he has different situations going on. So I really liked it. It was sexy. Like, it's really hot sex scenes. And you can tell that Wynn just really cares about him. And he actually overhears like Wynn and his friend get in an argument, because his friend's like, he needs to like learn how to take care of himself. He'll die out here. Talk about like sending him away to like another camp where he could learn to protect himself. But Wynn doesn't want him to leave and wants to protect him. And it's just really, really, really sweet. So now I'm at a point where they've split off from the friend, went another way, and they're going off on their journey. And it was really cute because Wynn and him had like this conversation where Wynn's like, I feel like I took advantage of you and you're stuck with me. And he lets him know that he's happier than he's really ever been with Wynn. So I don't know. This is the sweetest monster romance ever. I love the world building, the post-apocalyptic kind of setting. It's really fascinating. Lily Mayne, I've never read a book of hers, and she's a really good writer. She just like sucks you in. So I'm really enjoying this book like a lot more than my last book. So I'm loving this. I'm like really excited to continue the series because I want to learn about all the other monsters too, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more world building. So I'm gonna dive back in. Hopefully, I'll finish this tonight, and then I can give you guys an update probably tomorrow. But so far, absolutely loving this. It's so adorable. I'm just finding that I love male romances. I don't know why, but their sex scenes are like even hotter. So I don't know, but I will see you on hopefully tomorrow. Probably I'm going to be from my car unless I do my update from home, but I have to get up for work in the morning. So we'll see how it goes. All right. See you soon. Hey guys, so just wanted to give you my final check-in on this vlog. I did finish Soul Eater, and it is a new favorite for me. I am so blown away by this author, and the fact that this was their first book. Like when I read the author's note at the end, I was shocked because the world building in this book was so well done. She built this post-apocalyptic, monsters, like this rift that's opened up between, our world and the monsters world. And the fact that, like it's post-apocalyptic, the whole waste across most of the United States and different raiders and all the different types of monsters. It was just sucked me in. I couldn't put it down. And it was so sweet. It was one of the sweetest male, like romances I've ever read, and it's with this badass monster that can fucking kill and basically is immortal pretty much. And I freaking loved this romance. So I gave it 6 stars. I can't stop thinking about it. If I didn't have to go into other books to prepare for arcs, I would honestly read the next one, because the next one is Eden, and he's like this purple huge monster that's like friends with Wynn. And I really want to see what his romance like, because he's kind of more of this bubbly, nice, jovial personality. So that should be kind of fun. But I mean, the end was so intense. There was action. There was a lot of violence near the end. Things happen between them where it's almost a third act conflict breakup kind of thing, but not fully. Like, I loved how they communicated and got through it quickly. But I loved this book so much. The sex scenes were so freaking hot and inventive. Like, I'd never read a male scene like that, because he's a monster. He's got different anatomy. So I loved it. I can't believe how much I love this book. So I was blown away. I've had the best month in May of books. Like, I've given multiple 6 stars, which I usually don't do that. So it's not like I'm always just handing out 6 stars. So the book really has to hit me emotionally or hit that mark. And this one did. It was so beautiful. I fell in love with both the characters. I mean, Danny is so sweet and positive and honest. Like, I loved how he fully just admitted he was attracted to Wynn and put it out there instead of just building up this tension. Like, he let him know, like, I want you. And so I thought that was really, really cool. And Wynn was such a sweet, kind monster, and so protective of, Danny. And I just loved it. I'm really excited to continue the series and get to see more of the world and the world building. I'm so impressed with Lily Mayne. This is like a new favorite for the year for me. So excited I finally read it, because it's been on my TBR forever. So I'm glad I did this vlog, because it got me to read one of my favorite books. So I think this vlog has been a really good success. I'm reading more male romances now. Like, I'm really loving them. I find them even sexier than like regular whatever romance books. So I'm really impressed. I can't wait to continue. And I think that's it. I don't want to give away. I already spoiled a lot of this book for you guys. I kind of went too spoilery in my video, but I don't want to ruin the end or any of like that stuff. Just know that it's a super sweet romance, and it's going to hit you and you're going to love it. So thank you so much, as always, for watching this. I don't even know if you're making it all the way to the end of this video, because I do talk too much and ramble on in my vlogs. So if you made it to the end, please give me like a purple heart, and please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you on my next one.